is up, everybody, and welcome back to another Flex Swim podcast. How are you doing, Harry?
I'm doing swell. How are you?
I'm doing great. Today, guys, we have a special treat for you. We interviewed Ricky Berens a little while back, and we've been sitting on this interview for a little while. Harry, give us a little brief synopsis of Ricky Berens.
Yeah, so Ricky is from North Carolina. I got a chance to get to know him and his family pretty well in Mecklenburg at Swim Mac. He swam in the 2008 Olympics, swam in the 2012 Olympics, multiple world champs in between, including a 2009 episode that we discussed in the interview. He swam with Eddie Reese at the University of Texas. So, I mean, if you want to talk about somebody who's really been around a lot of high-profile athletes and coaches and meets, he's somebody who has been pretty much at all of them.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the best things that we got out of this interview is that this guy is the elite of the elite, and he's now living the post-swimming life.
Yeah.
So we get some cool stories from Ricky. It's a short interview, but it's a great one. Without further ado, guys, Ricky Berens.
Life comes at you fast.
Yeah.
10-month-old at home. I've been done swimming now for 5 years. So I call it the real world now. So everything afterwards, got married, bought a house, got a real job, went back and got my MBA, and just had a kid. Well, I did not have a kid. Wife had a kid in 10 months ago, and life is good.
Yeah. How was the process of leaving the sport and transitioning to the real world?
It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Ups and downs, ups and downs. It's something I still go through, kind of like a monthly basis. We as swimmers lucky enough to go to college to swim and then to even go afterwards as a professional swimmer, just an incredible experience. But, I always identified myself as a swimmer. That was my major. Well, I was a finance major, so I did have a good background coming out. But swimming was all I knew. And so to leave that swimming world, I was pretty lost at the beginning. I jumped into the athletic department and worked in the Letterman's Club, and then also the Longhorn Foundation. Wasn't really for me. Got my MBA and got involved with a pet food company called Nulo Pet Food here in Austin. And I got in when they're pretty small. And for me, it was a way to kind of jumpstart a career, really learn a business from the ground up. And I felt it was a perfect fit for me. It was a great company, great people to work with, a great opportunity to really, put it in swimming terms. I was able to skip the swim school and move up a few levels.
Yeah.
So, I was 25 going on 20 when I retired. So, that's basically, I felt like I was about 5 years behind in the business world.
Yeah.
So I was trying to catch up as fast as I could.
It's like you're almost just graduating from college and you're looking for jobs and everything, whereas you've been in the sport for so long, you've been at such a high competitive level and you're just doing all these things. And now it's like, it's interesting that you say that about identity. I mean, I think that's what every swimmer kind of goes through is
Yeah, for sure.
You feel like you have this identity. You walk around and you walk into a room and everyone's like sees the dude with the broad shoulders who's tall and athletic, and it's like, there's a swimmer.
Yeah.
But then when you leave, it's just like, that dude's pretty tall. Like he must work out pretty much. And it's like, what do I do next, right?
Exactly.
Well, it's interesting to hear that you've found your footing, and there's a little bit of a lag time, it sounds like, and I think everybody kind of goes through that. I think everybody can kind of relate to that in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, every college swimmer, I preach to college swimmers and college athletes in general. Don't take it for granted, the experiences, but also the opportunities. Athletics opens up a lot of doors, and you need to take advantage of those. Coming to the University of Texas was a huge opportunity, and going to the University of Florida, a lot of these swim programs are great D1 universities where you can go get a great degree and come out of there with a great job, great career, and that was a blessing with Eddie and Chris, the coaches at Texas. When we came here, you were there to go to school and be a student and build a career and become a man. Secondly, you were a swimmer. Yeah. And
they kept that student athlete in that order.
They did. They always made sure.
Student. Yeah. Well, something I was going to ask about was kind of, we can work our way through from the beginning a little bit, right? Like kind of your, experiences, swimming during like high school age, right? And then transitioning into college and transitioning into more of a pro athlete. I think, most of the people that would be, listening or following our channel are probably either they haven't been through that, right? They're kind of more like the master swimmers, or they're on the younger side, so they're just beginning maybe that process. So I don't know, maybe we start kind of that transition of high school into college swimming of, what that was kind of like for you. Because we have all, Ryan and I did that, and I think everybody has a little bit different experience of how that goes. It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. God, I was extremely lucky as a freshman, sophomore in high school. I qualified for the national junior team when I was 14 years old. I was very blessed to have great coaches from when I started swimming a year-round program at the age of 9. Worked my way up. And I always had great coaches. Harrison's dad, Dave Gibson, was my big high school coach.
Coming up in Mecklenburg.
Yep. Yeah, Charlotte, North Carolina at Mac. I had been there. Dave coached me. I think that was
starting when you were a freshman
or
right?
sophomore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I qualified for national junior team, and that was kind of like one of the first big things. And actually, the year before that, I was 14 and broke Michael Phelps' national record in the 200 butterfly. And that was when kind of somebody after a race, it was actually a few Auburn guys. I placed third, like right behind these 2 Auburn guys. And they had won like 3 national championships in a row. And we're talking to a bunch of Gators here, so we can talk crap about Auburn.
All day.
But they were like, man, how old are you? And I was like 14. They're like, God, we're going to be recruiting you soon. And it kind of hit me in that second that I was like, God, swimming, yeah, I can go to the next level with this. I can go to college and earn a swimming scholarship. And it was that point as, everything started falling into place there. Next summer, I qualified for the national junior team. I was the youngest one on that team. And I was on that team. We went to Australia. And, they were all seniors in high school, getting ready to college, so I got to meet all those guys and kind of get a taste of that. And the next summer was Olympic trials, 2004. And
in Long Beach, right?
In Long Beach, yep. And I think I was like one of the youngest guys there too. And it was at that point where it was like, I had a goal of making semifinals, 200 fly. I think I was like 20th, so I had just missed that. But I left there hungry. I left there setting goals to make 2008. And so from there, it's looking at, okay, where can I go to achieve my goals in 2008? And took my recruiting trips to Florida, Michigan, Arizona, and Texas. Talked to a few other schools. But Texas...
Pretty much a who's who of the top 5 or 10 swimming schools.
Yeah. I wouldn't even be recruited today with the times everybody puts up. I was national high. It's stupid.
Yeah.
I was 134 200-yard freestyle, I think, coming out. I was a 145, 144 200 flyer, like 147 or 148 200 IMer, and I was National High School Swimmer of the Year. And I think this year some of that stuff might not even be like top 50.
That may be in IMers times these days.
Yeah. So, so I was National High School Swimmer of the Year, so I had a lot of, I guess prestige going in the, I could kind of choose where I wanted. So I was extremely lucky. And I came to University of Texas, and I knew a lot of the guys prior to, just because of the national junior team, and then Eddie and Chris. And for me, that was like the who's who of American swimming too on that team. So
that's what I feel like is probably one of the biggest benefits that you probably see in your swimming career is that going to Texas. I mean, Eddie Reese is the who's who of swimming coaches, and going to this program, there's probably all these different guys that are around you that are already swimming at such a high level. It's
the history of the guys that have come through Texas is
it's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not even a matter of like I need to motivate myself to get to this level. It's more so like I got to catch up with what's around me, right?
Yep.
And I feel like Eddie Reese in Texas alone just do a good job of getting you ready for international competition, let alone winning national championships like they do now, like they did during your days. I mean, what was your days at Texas like?
They changed through the whole 4 years. When I had gotten there, we hadn't won a national championship since 2002. My freshman year was 2006, 2007.
It's a long drought in Texas days.
It is. I think since they won their first national championship, and I know I'm wrong, but late 70s or 80. I think maybe once or twice had a class not gone through there, not won a national championship. And so that happened when I was a freshman. Those seniors had not won one. And then the class after me, or that following class. So, yeah, that was a long drought. In my freshman year, coming in, I think we were ranked number 1. We're going to win a national title. We were 5th. Eddie Reese had not placed out of top 3 or 4 more than like 2 or 3 times since he had been at Texas. And it was like his first year he was 30th, second year he was like 11th, and then he was like 3rd. And like, so that year was like one of the worst finishes Eddie Reese has ever had in the NCAA championship. And we were supposed to win. Sophomore year, we were supposed to win. We got 2nd. Junior year, we're supposed to win. We got 2nd. And then finally, my senior year, it was like we all got together, you know, as seniors. We're like, we're not leaving here. Like, we're not being one of the classes to not win a national championship. Like, we got to do this. And that was our motivation all year long, because Texas, there's so much history. We talked about being a part of Texas. We talked about, you know, oh yeah, we've won so many national championships. We've had all this history and tradition, but we wanted to be a part of it. Yeah. We wanted to be part of that winning tradition. And that was the year that everybody got sick 2 days before.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was at Ohio State, I think.
Ohio State.
Yeah, that's
so
right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. We were flying the plane, Stanford, Arizona, and Texas. And 2 nights before it started, Jimmy Fegan got sick, throwing up. We're like, oh, no. The next day, our number 1 diver, me, my roommate Hill Taylor, head coach Eddie Reese, and our breaststroker, everybody's sick as can be. And we're like, what the hell is going on? This can't be happening right now.
Right, and I think some of those other teams had that too, right? Like Arizona and Stanford and
Arizona. Yep. There were like a total of like 20 of us that we got real sick, and they ended up putting the meet on hold. They delayed the meet 1 whole day. Because the center, CDC came in. They had to like sterilize the entire like thing. After every single session, the CDC came in and wiped down the entire like complex and stuff.
Oh wow!
I mean, it was intense.
Yeah,
it was a neurovirus, and we ended up winning our senior year, which was just, I mean, it was incredible. I mean, you work so hard for one goal as a team and everything. Just an incredible experience. And yes, earlier, what it was like kind of coming to Texas too, some of the guys you get to train with, and I mean, you guys at Florida, you know, all those teams, they have, you know, it doesn't matter what day it is, there's going to be somebody to race. There's somebody that's basically the best in the nation, best in the world, or one of the best that you're up against.
There'll be somebody on point every day. Yeah.
Yep. And to learn from the older guys like Brendan Hansen, Ian Crocker, Aaron Pearsall, Neil Walker, Garrett Weber-Gale, all these guys that you get to train with, just learn their mentality, what they go through every single day. But then also have them at international competitions, have them at the Olympics was such a huge motivation for me, but such a huge benefit. Just chilling out before a 2008 Olympic relay, like having Brendan Hansen and Crocker and those guys and Eric Chanteau, just being like, dude, been here before, like just kind of like taking you through the process.
It's like screwing around with your teammates, just like, you know, right after practice, but you know, you're at this world stage. I mean, that's
a comfort level.
Oh yeah.
That not many people can really get to. I mean, I think it's more diverse than ever these days, but I think you guys are lucky enough to have that kind of cohesive environment and that level of kind of, I mean, you can rattle off those names like crazy. I'm sure nobody else in swimming history can really have that.
We put 8 guys on the Olympic team in 2008 from our team. So yeah, it was incredible.
That's a pretty solid move there. Eddie had to be pretty proud of that.
We had, you know, there was in 2012, I swam at Dave Salo in Trojan, more diverse team when we talk about diverse countries.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, there were a good number of them on there. And I mean, you just talk about, I've been very lucky, very blessed to have the teams and coaches that I had throughout my swimming career.
Well, that kind of leads into, I guess, the next step of transitioning from being a college athlete into being a pro athlete, right? And so that's even, you know, that there's a level of, you know, rarity, I guess, of even getting into that level of college swimming. But it's like a whole nother, you know, level of rarity of being in a pro swimmer.
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know, a little bit about what that's like. And then I do have one specific experience I was going to ask you about. You know, how was that 2009?
The one everybody has.
The suit incident.
Yeah. Well, it's let's start back. You know, transitioning from high school swimming to college. You know, high school was all fun and games. Nothing really mattered. Swam great, did great.
I think I remember you're a very chatty warm-up swimmer. You know, hop out, sit on the
I've heard the stories. There's something under Dave. I've heard plenty of stories. Lane to lane.
Last one in.
I mean, you guys had a fun group.
But, I still did that in college too, morning practice. So there I have my conversation. College swimming gets a little more serious with the team because you're working towards this one goal. A lot more pressure, on that. And then taking it to the next step, it's when it got real serious, because that was your living.
Your livelihood.
Yeah, that was, okay, I have to swim this fast to make rent next month.
Right.
You know, you had to hit you had to make the national team in order to make stipend. And then all your sponsorship contracts, they had incentives. If I swam this fast, made the Olympic team, I would make this much for an appearance. Wow. And everything then kind of revolved around money.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I was a terrible eater. Growing up, ate the same 5 meals: pizza, chicken fingers, French fries, milkshakes, Chinese food, everything. And
the swimmer calories, but those are
Yeah.
not the healthier calories.
yeah, Wendy's was at the bottom of our door freshman and sophomore
the
year.
popular notion of, swimmers, they just eat whatever they want. They just
They're
can
lucky.
put down food. Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Well, it switched once I became professional. 'Cause
Right.
It was like I had
Your
to make sure,
livelihood.
I had to do everything right. So that's when I started eating fruits and vegetables. That's when I started having to slim down and my body changed a lot with that. So just a much, much different mentality. Because it was, I had to do everything right in order to literally make a living the next year.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it was about. And then also, making an Olympic team, it was just, you had to be fast all the time too. Sponsors, and to get appearance and stuff, you basically had to build your name and your brand and that sort of thing.
Within such a small amount of time. I mean, from the moment you hit Olympic trials and people know about you in USA Swimming, but then you get to the Olympics, there's just it's a few months where you basically, someone can learn about you on a world level, and then you have to kind of have all these brand sponsorships and all that stuff and have an impact.
Yep.
We have a crying baby.
I know.
You need to get to it.
My mom's doing a good job right now.
The life of a father.
And that's just, we've been talking about a bunch of transitions. This has been your newest transition.
That's my new transition.
Yeah.
Baby, crying baby. You have phantom cries too in the middle of the night. The baby's not crying, but you hear it and you're like, it's the baby awake. But yeah, that transition from college to professional was very interesting.
You're almost like your own company, kind of your own business.
I met a guy, Bill Voth, in Charlotte. Came up to me, he's like, I want to help you build your social media and digital brand. And sure, I hate Twitter and all this, but I tweeted a ton. I was just a relay swimmer. That's what I did in 2008. I didn't swim individual races in international competition. But he helped me build my brand. I think I was probably one of the most followed swimmers besides a Michael Phelps, Ryan Lochte type thing. But that also helped me get sponsorships and appearances and everything. So it was me having to market myself to be that professional athlete.
And having to learn like you're saying, I think there's a lot of people, I would, echo this. I'm not really big on the social media, but then you kind of learn the importance of it or the benefit of it. It's something maybe you don't want to do, but it can get you some other things that, like you're talking about, the livelihood. That's your job. It's your career.
And now looking at it from now that I'm in a career at NULA, where we work with a lot of different athletes, when we are looking at athletes of potential sponsorships or partnerships and everything, the first thing you look at is their social media influence.
Yeah.
Are they active on it? Are they authentic? Do they have a lot of engagement? How is that portrayed? Because that's the main source of basically advertising.
Yeah. And it has to be organic these days. I mean, there's ways to get around it and all that stuff, but it's
to really fake your following. Yeah. That's a big,
Yeah.
I think you see it all across different sports too, like NBA, NFL, the people who get the highest contracts aren't really necessarily the people that are, most of the time they are the best in the league, but sometimes you'll hear that name where it's like, I know that name from somewhere else. Like maybe they're, posting some crazy Instagrams or doing something else, and they're just getting these crazy contracts through that.
Yeah. And it's all about, and also social media was a way, and all that was a way for me to show people who I was. They see us on TV, they see us behind the blocks, they see all these serious people I race, and they probably think we're just so, cut, clean, everything, but no, we have personalities.
There's characters behind it,
which I think is really fun too, because you still run into people,
of course,
that are they talk and they laugh at some of the stuff you say. It was fun, professional, and I called it quits at 25. I anchored the winning 4x200 in Barcelona, and called it quits. I thought it was
Pretty good way to go out.
Good way to go out, and it
Yeah.
was I achieved more than I ever dreamed of in the sport of swimming. And yeah, I was 25 going on 20. It was kind of me to move on to the next chapter, the next adventure in life.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be one of those swimmers when I was 30, 35 years old, still swimming, being like, why are you still swimming?
Yeah.
And if you were to tell me, I say the saying, I used to talk to kids, if you were to tell me 5 years ago I'd make an Olympic team, now it's 10, 15 years ago. If you were to tell me 15 years ago I'd make an Olympic team, I'd tell you you're crazy.
Yeah.
So to go to 2, dear God, I still have a world record on the 800 freestyle relay, but it's stuff that I'll get to tell my crying baby about when he's older. But just what an incredible experience that, you thank God every single day. And all those things in the sport of swimming, all your friends, your teammates, the relationships you build, all the lessons you learn, it's now it's a part of you. And you take those experiences and build on such a bigger part of life now.
For sure.
I was 25 years old, and hopefully that's only, less than a third of my life, but it's such a small aspect, but it means so much to me, all those things.
Definitely. Well, you've obviously had a long and storied career, and we're excited to see where we are now. Crying baby in the background, got to get off to work. We're obviously low on time, so we'll end it right here, but I know we want to finish with one last thing. You can go into
You want to hear the 2009 story?
I do want to hear
Exactly.
some of the details.
Somebody,
I think we've talked about it maybe once. Sometime I saw you, but
somebody asked me about it the other day.
you were on like Good Morning America.
I was on
Wendy
the Tyra
Williams
Banks show.
Tyra Banks, that's what it
show.
was.
I actually wore the suit on
I remember
Tyra
Tim
Banks.
telling me about going to see that, I think. Yeah.
That will help with social media right there.
Yeah,
Having
that
your
was
butt
cool.
plastered all over Twitter.
I tell this story. Actually, somebody came up to me the other day. I ran into him in a restaurant. He owns our neighborhood grocery store, and somebody's told him I went to the Olympics and everything. He's like, "No, you didn't." I gave him my name because he always sees me, and actually it was funny. He goes, I hate you a lot. I ran him at the restaurant. He's like, I hate you. He's like, because I have this one image of you. I go to the grocery store all the time, our neighborhood grocery, just to pick up little things. He goes, you walked in one Saturday, picked up a 6-pack of beer and a DiGiorno pizza, and we're on your way. And I was like, it was a good Saturday for me. That's retired life. And and the next time I saw him, he goes, I Googled you. He's like, when I Googled you, all I saw was your butt. I was like, yeah, that's usually what happens. Yeah, so 2009 was the year of the bodysuits. Lasers and the J-Kid, and
I was a fan of those times.
Yeah.
I swam well with those suits.
Yeah, they help the bigger people go faster.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Those breaststroke tree trunks.
Yeah. And so I had J-Kid as a prelims with a 4x1, and I was pretty pumped to be on this relay. Like
Those J-Kids, which for people who might not remember, were like painted on basically when you got them on.
Oh yeah, we had people in the ready room helping us put them on. They would take like 30 minutes. They'd have like dishwashing gloves.
Sweating and
because people would like peel the skin off their hands trying to get them on. Yeah,
they were terrible. But the summer before was 4x1 in 2008 when we out touched the French. Well, next summer I went.
Yeah, that's still one of the most amazing. Yeah.
I wanted to be a part of that. Feeling good. Like I was swimming great. Training camp and everything was going great. So I was pretty pumped to be a part of the prelims relay, try to earn a spot for finals, get behind the blocks. It goes Garrett Weber-Gale, Matt Grievers, me, Colin Jones. I always have the same sort of race routine, stretch. Then I go to the side of the pool, bend over and splash some water on myself, and think the gun goes off, or maybe it's just before. And I go over to the side of the pool, splash some water on myself. I bend over, and the suit splits literally from the middle of the back all the way down to the front.
I had that happen with the zippered one in the back one time when I got down on the blocks. It popped right open. Yeah. And no butt on mine, but similar.
I put my hands back there, and I was like, "Oh God, did that really happen?" And I was bare-assed. And I turned around, and there's 10,000 people in the stands. There's photographers, video cameras everywhere. There's a giant TV camera directly behind me, and I was like, "Oh God," I'm kind of like freaking out. What do I do? And Colin Jones is in the back, and he's got his headphones on. He's jamming out, like getting in the zone, getting pumped up, and I gotta go punch him. Colin, punch him in the chest. It's like, what, man? turn around, show my ass, takes a step back. I'm like, what do I do, man? He's like, you got to swim. He's like, dude, I can't swim. Like, I literally have a parachute right now. He's like, dude, you got to get on the block and swim, man. I was like, all right. I was like, well, at least, there's a TV camera back here. At least come hold up a towel behind me. And so he came and held up a towel. And I stood up on the block like the last second and swam and probably screwed up Colin's routine. And I found this picture afterwards, a bunch of pictures, but I was diving in the water and Colin was standing behind me with his head turned to the side, just laughing at me. And that ref on that flip turn got a funny picture. And I think I still split a 48-1 or maybe 47.
With the parachute, that's pretty good.
Yeah. That tells you what the suit does.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, I hit the wall, and the international races, they always make you to go to the side of the pool and walk around. And I put both of my hands up, and the ref was like, no. And I just flew myself
This was in
off.
Rome, I think. Right?
Yeah.
So you have some Italian ref or something like, no.
I just threw myself out and turned around. And he's like, okay. And I was really pissed after it because they didn't put me in that relay afterwards. But then it's like, and then I started getting all the interview questions.
Publicity starts coming in.
And I started getting Pito wanted to do a I'd rather be naked ad with me. And I got to go in Tyra Banks. My mom and little brother came to Tyra Banks with me. That was a funny interview. And
Little Tim.
Yeah, little Tim. And I wore my suit on there. I had some spandex or something underneath, but I was always
yeah, you're like a little viral sensation kind of. You're trending. You were trending.
Yeah, some lady, the CNN lady, was walking around. She does some like live reporting or something, and was walking around the streets of New York City with a big blown up picture of me. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? Well, it looks like a very nice butt. So my nickname was Ricky Berens. That's what I got for a little bit.
That's amazing.
So I basically I mooned the world.
Yeah, it turned out all right.
I still get tagged in random things, and people just start laughing. It's like, dude, that was 10 years ago.
The internet, you live forever.
Yeah.
You'll never live it down. Well, with that, we can find you on what social media if we want to tag you.
Twitter, Instagram. Instagram's basically taken over by Bo, a little boy, and it's basically a bunch of pictures of him and my wife. I don't get in the pool. I get in the pool very rarely now. Probably just a couple times a year.
2020 comeback.
I'm so far out of shape. Like somebody asked me, we were at a dinner the one night, and the lady said, "All right, we're going to go around the table. It's what we always do. You give us your high point of the week and your low point of the week." High point was before the Texas OU football game. High point was getting there. My low point.
You went to? Did you go to that game?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah,
nice,
yeah.
nice.
Low point, I said, it was a table of about 20 people. I said, at one point in my life, I was a world-class athlete. Yesterday morning, I went out for a run. I made it about half a mile down the road before I got tired and had to turn around.
Reality smacks you.
It comes at you fast. So, but life's good. So
awesome.
That's good.
Well,
That's
it's good to hear. We really appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you having us over here and
inviting us in your house, giving us a little time. Appreciate it. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Harry.
Yeah, it's good to see you. It's been a little while.
It's been a long time. Yeah,
I know the family says hello, and hope everything's great.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you.
And they keep feeding me.
And we are back. There you go. That is the Ricky Berens interview. What'd you think of it, Harry?
Oh, it was great to catch up. It was great to see him. It was very generous of him to offer us into his house to get an interview like that. Always great to get down to Austin, Texas. He had a lot of great stuff to say. Some stuff that we knew, some stuff that was a little bit newer. I know Ricky a little bit better than you do, I think. So it would be interesting to get your impressions of him.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky is honestly, he's one of the most likable guys I've ever met in swimming. He just has that personality to him. Even having been outside of swimming, you can tell that the way he talks about his experiences, it was just all about. It wasn't like those were the good days. It's like every day is fun for him.
Yeah.
And all these experiences that he accrued through swimming have just been fun. And that's
one
how
of
he
those
treats
people
it.
with really good energy that, it just you gravitate towards.
Exactly. And we got to dive into the infamous suit from 2009 issue.
That's right. The suit rip that he got on TV for even. That was a big deal.
I mean, after this long, it probably hasn't been talked about very much. So we were probably rehashing some some interesting energy from him. And you can definitely tell that. But Thank you so much to Ricky Berens for
thanks,
letting us
guys.
come by. If you guys want us to interview anybody else from this kind of fame level in USA Swimming, please feel free to comment down below with who you'd like to see us interview next.
Yeah, let us know.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank
As
you.
usual, remember to subscribe, like, and check us out on the YouTube channel. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
See ya.